What's going on, everybody? It's Mike from Vape It Up, and this video is going to be really cool, and I think you guys will enjoy it a lot. I see a lot of times in nonprofit and charity things where you never really know exactly where everything's going. So I thought it would be very cool and very helpful to everyone if I actually interviewed who it was going to. So I spoke with Jen, who is the assistant director of BRV Liquids, which is also the same company in a sense as the Vape A Vet project. And she'll explain that in the video exactly how that works. So I'm going to try to get this video as short as I can. I'm hoping that it does not exceed 10-15 minutes, but either way, here is the interview that Jen and I did over Skype with all of the information that I could imagine that anyone would want. So here we go, guys. So first, let me go ahead and what are the care packages that you guys send out to all of the military members?
Okay, so we have two separate sets of packages. The initial goal for the Vape A Vet project is to help get current smokers off of, or tobacco users off of tobacco. So when a service member applies, either former military or active duty, when they apply at vapeavet.org, and we verify that they're a current smoker that wants to transition to vaping, we send them what we call a starter kit. And the starter kit is a great starter kit in the sense that it's an MVP 20. It's personally engraved. It's a fantastic unit. It's heavy duty, durable. So some of these service members that are overseas that are banging them up pretty good, it can take that type of destruction, I guess. Yeah. So they're really good MVP 20 watts. So we give the servicemen and women the information and knowledge necessary to make that transition to vaping. And we also include liquid and about our program and thanking them for their service. Now, if they decide they want to make the transition to vaping, which is some 89%, we did an initial study, we need to do another one, but 89% of the service members end up transitioning to vaping full-time and not picking up a cigarette again, which is huge. Yeah. If they make that transition, if they fall upon hard times or they're looking for more liquid, family stuff is going on, or they're overseas, that's when we send what we call a care package. And those are on a case-by-case basis. It really depends on our funding. We don't have a set limit of care packages that we send out every single month. Ideally, in a perfect world, and we will get there someday, we would like to have a continuous production line on Vape A Vet. Mm-hmm. We're 100% volunteer-based, but we would like to have care packages going all day, 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Right now, we're sending out about 75 to 150 care packages a month, which is huge. Yeah. It's affecting a lot of lives, and we currently can only start with we can only do 75 starter kits per month based on funding. Mm-hmm. So basically, what happens is on the first of every month. So on July 1st, we'll open up the portal on vapeavet.org. You go online, you fill out a super simple application. We verify military history or military service, and from there on, there's no strings attached. It doesn't cost a dime to the service member. Mm-hmm. We get their information, we get the starter kit on its way, and they should get it in the mail, priority mail. That's awesome. That's big. That's another reason that I chose Vape A Vet for this is not only what you guys are doing, but also how to me, you're very transparent about how you're doing it. With the counter on the website, what you've sent out, funding, and all of that. It's not many places where you see transparency between what's going on and what is going out. And I'll be even more transparent with you. It's something that a lot of people want to know about. It's not fun to talk about, but finances are an absolutely heavily regulated, federally regulated issue with 501c3 nonprofits. So we are a fully registered, fully dedicated 501c nonprofit. So what that means is we are in with the federal government, and we can be audited. All of our information is available for them. And we need to be really careful and really smart about how we make decisions. So, for example, we get a lot of people that call and say, I'm really hard up, can I get some juice? Well, we have to go through a verification process just to make sure that this is an actual service member, because people that donate to Vape A Vet expect that we explicitly send this stuff to our veterans. So, while we would like to say yes to everybody, there is a process that we have to follow. Yeah. Additionally, in the in the interest of being totally transparent, people historically don't make large cash donations to nonprofits. So we've found it to be quite a challenge to keep up with the demand that we see in their requests for care packages and starter kits. So to combat that, particularly shipping, which is extraordinarily expensive, especially since we don't discriminate against overseas versus stateside. To offset that, we started the BRV Liquid line. Now that is a for-profit, and it's very important for people to understand the difference between BRV Liquids and the Vape A Vet project. BRV Liquids is a for-profit company that provides wholesale distribution to retailers. So a shop, a brick and mortar out in Texas wants our liquid, he loves BRV, he orders it from us. 100% of the wholesale profits gets dumped into the Vape A Vet project. So that retailer can now sell those bottles and make whatever profit he or she wants. So, after paying operating costs, paying salaries, paying the actual cost of the liquid that we make, because we don't just get liquid. We have to find someone that we have to pay them for liquid. So BRV pays for that, and then the wholesale profits from that just go directly to Vape A Vet. Now, what a lot of people don't know about nonprofits, and this is really important, that a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, cannot receive more than 50% of its annual operating income from one source. So if Vape A Vet makes $20,000 this year in donations, no more than $10,000 can be donated by BRV, like $10,001, because then we lose our nonprofit status. So what we like to do is we need to monitor what's coming in and match it with BRV and be really aware of that. So if somebody makes a huge cash donation, $500,000, it would be nice we could, well, I wish we could match it. We're not there yet, but anytime a large donation is made, we can match that.
No, that's really, really good. And I'm glad that you said that. Not a lot of people know that at all. I didn't know that. That I learned something too. So on the liquid, how you said that wholesalers, that's how you get that. How many places have already started to order wholesale from you guys for those liquids?
So we are in 38 states. We are selling on giantvapes.com, and we just broke into the France market. We have a French distributor.
Awesome.
So the best way to support the Vape A Vet project, quite frankly, is through BRV for two reasons. One, because the wholesale profits go to the BRV, and that's a good source of income. Vape A Vet, and that's a good source of income. Two, because vapers, particularly military, are helping to support the Vape A Vet cause by doing something that they love. Right? So if they're going to buy liquid and juice anyway, if they buy the BRV liquid line, which is a premium line, it's a good juice, they're kind of supporting the organization that helped them get into the vaping scene, which is a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, that is. To me, it also really gets into the core of what being in the military is about, with your battle buddies right next to you. I mean, like I said, I was in the military, and nothing's more important than your battle buddy to your left and your right. And in purchasing, say if I was still active service and I was in Iraq, whatever it may be, if I order from your liquid line, not only am I getting liquid, but that's also going to my battle buddies left and right. Because if I order from you, the proceeds from that, based on who I order from, can help with the shipping, is what that sounds like. And it goes to the core of helping your battle buddy.
Absolutely. And it's a cool dynamic, because while BRV is what actually pays our salaries, because it's a requirement if you want to work at BRV Liquids, it's one of our job descriptions that you donate a portion of your time to the Vape A Vet project. We never want to make Vape A Vet a paid position. So we're located in Phoenix, Arizona. We have volunteers that come in and donate their time, and we'll offer them a bottle of juice for their time. It's a donation. They're donating their time, and we give back to them. But that way we don't have to put anybody on salary, and 100% of that profits will stay within Vape A Vet. And it's a great philosophy for BRV, because it's a company that was started with the philosophy that we need to help support a project that helps others. So when you create a company that is has philanthropy as a foundation for their starting, it creates a really cool dynamic. And your your whole purpose is to create money so that that money can go to an organization that you truly believe in. Yeah. And that's why we're transparent. And I think it's really important that we distinguish between the two. And I think it's really important that people ask questions. If they're like, wait a minute, why is a nonprofit associated so closely with a for-profit? Ask questions. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of things that people don't know about nonprofits, for-profits, and there's a lot that we don't know, that we're continuously researching, that's continuously changing. The climate always changes. So we try to be as transparent as possible.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's something that I'm big about as well, is when people ask me, whenever I go to a local shop for sponsorship, and they say, well, what is this sponsorship money going for? What is it going to go to? The biggest cost, which if anybody's ever put on an event, I'm sure you guys know, is the shirts for those events. That is not anywhere near cheap. Every registered runner for this event will get a shirt. Every sponsor, anyone that shows up for the event on the hosting the event side of it, if Shop A comes and they're like, hey, we're bringing 3 people to help us out, so there's going to be 3 total, then okay, here's a shirt, here's a shirt, here's a shirt, I'll give 3. So that's really, in terms of what people get, that's going to show Vape It Up, Vape A Vet, and all the sponsors, that's really the number one thing. And I'm really happy that you guys have been able to, if I need something from you, I can call you guys and I get the info, and vice versa. Absolutely. I really like that you guys have a good working relationship, let alone this Skype meeting says everything. What was y'all's initial reaction whenever I contacted and you heard about this event? What was your initial reaction to that?
Well, you know, anytime somebody offers to put their personal time, blood, sweat, and tears into something, for something that we have put our blood, sweat, and tears into, it's a very humbling experience. You know, like, to sit down with you and see how much time you're putting into it. You said you had 2 kids. I'm sure this is cutting into time with your kids. Like, I can appreciate that. And I have a family too. My brother has a family. Dan, who works here, all of our sales representatives for BRV, our volunteers, they all appreciate that so much. But ultimately, because of situations like this, we will immediately be able to see, you know, a cause and effect. So, you know, let's say you raise $1,000 from this, or 10,000, or 10 million. You know, whatever you raise, we can immediately say, okay, it costs about $35 to send a care package / starter kit, or $85 to send a starter kit, and we raise $5,000. That's X amount of kits that's going to go to veterans. You know, when somebody offers what you're offering to us, it's such a humbling experience that, of course, the money is nice. We're a nonprofit, so we don't make money. But what it comes down to is building relationships and building trust with people so that you can grow together and you have a long, sustained program. Yeah. You know, I'd much rather have, you know, a sufficient amount of money over 20 years to help our vets, rather than you coming at me if you had it and say, I would like to give you $40,000 to Vape A Vet. You know, I mean, we would take it, of course, but we would much rather have those long-term sustained relationships. Yeah, so, we can't thank you enough. I think the best way for us to thank you, to be honest with you, Mike, is not saying, oh my gosh, look what, you know, you're amazing, you've done this for us and this and that, but is to really just show you what your support is doing. Yeah. And so I'm going to send you, you know, pictures of the veterans that are receiving our services. I'll send you pictures of some of them that are overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq, and they have like BRV Liquids, they're vaping away. Really cool pictures. I'll send you a lot of them. I have them on my computer here. It's a really cool program, and we're really excited about it. And anything like this is, of course, huge. We'd like to keep somebody in the office here just to kind of run the show during the 5K, but we're going to try to get as many people out from our from BRV and Vape A Vet out there as we can to represent.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I was really, really excited about. Whenever I was speaking with Will at the time, and he was like, "No, we'll fly out there. What's the nearest airport? What's this? What's that?" Oh, yeah. And I was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Do you need anything from me?" He goes, "No, just tell me which airport's easiest and maybe a hotel that's close." And I was like, "Wow, that's really, really cool." Just one last thing.
Yep.
What are you vaping on?
I am vaping on BRV Liquids Seal Team Max VG from our Black Ops line.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, our Black Ops line is our Max VG line. It's incredible stuff. I actually made the change from dog after vaping that for about a month and a half yesterday to Field Team. I made the change. So, what about you?
I'm vaping on a liquid that I made. It's a creamy rainbow sherbet, actually.
Very nice.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, you're wonderful. Thank you for all that you're doing, and we'll be in contact.
All right, sounds good. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Me too. Thanks so much.
No problem.